Everyone says the West was built by guns and grit. We know the truth is sharper than that. Today's story is about Bram Holloway, a man who learned that scars don't fade. They harden into strength. Out here between red rock canyons and endless sky, it all began with one small choice: pulling a stranger from a river that should have killed her. Before we kick off this adventure, don't forget to hit like on the video and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. The storm didn't ask permission. It tore through the canyon like it meant to erase it from the map. Rain slashed sideways, turning the gorge into a screaming throat, choking on mud and water. I was riding the fence line when something dark rolled in the current. For a second, I figured it was a mule deer dragged under. I rode closer. It wasn't an animal. She was floating face down, wrists cinched tight with rawhide blood streaking from her temple, where someone had laid her open before throwing her to the river. Young, couldn't have been more than 25. Somehow still alive. I hauled her out, boots filling with water, my bad knees barking like old dogs. By the time I got her back to the cabin, my hands were shaking. I laid her near the fire and waited. That's when her eyes opened. Dark eyes. Sharp, no panic in them at all. Just a hard, measuring look like she was weighing whether I was a chance at survival or another way to die. I should have taken her to the mission, should have ridden hard for Fort Sumner and let the border dragoons sort it out. I didn't, and that choice, that single stubborn choice, was the hinge everything else swung on. She didn't speak for 3 days, just watched. Every move I made, how I cooked, how I walked, where I kept my rifle. I gave her my bed and took the chair. Her ankle was badly swollen, twisted, not broken. I wrapped it tight and kept my distance. On the 4th morning, while coffee boiled low, she finally spoke. "You got a woman, no easing into it. Straight as a knife." Her English was clean, thick with accent, but steady, had I said. Fever took her, and a child 6 years gone. She nodded once. She knew that kind of loss. When she spoke again, her voice stayed level. "They tried to marry me. A man I didn't choose. I said no," she went on. "My brother tied my hands himself. That's when it settled in my chest. She wasn't running from white men. She was running from her own people, from custom, from a future carved out without her say. You're safe here," I told her. Fool thing to promise. Safe out here where canyon riders passed through regular as the moon, where law lived days away on horseback. But I meant it. "Safe," she repeated, testing the word like it might bite. Then she smiled. "First time. You don't know me yet," she said. "My name is Aisha." She moved through the cabin like she belonged there. Cooked without asking. Used herbs I'd never seen. Mended my coat with stitches so fine they vanished into the cloth. Each night she sat by the fire, grinding medicine for my knee. One evening I asked her, "Why help me?" She looked up, firelight cutting her face in gold and shadow. "You pulled me from the river," she said. "I pulled you from something too. And damn if she wasn't right. I pulled you out of whatever was pulling you under." She said it like fact, not poetry. Damn sharp mind on her, too sharp for her own good. One lonely soul turned into two. I showed Aisha how to steady a Winchester, how to breathe before the squeeze. She paid me back with Apache words I mangled every time I tried to say them. We laughed at that. Not much, but enough. Somewhere along the way we found a rhythm. The quiet kind. The kind where words start feeling optional. Still, I knew it was borrowed time. The night the storm came back, I felt the line thinning. Thunder shook the walls. Rain beat the roof like it meant to break through. Aisha stood at the window watching lightning tear the sky apart. I stepped up behind her without planning to, just moved there. My hand settled on her shoulder. She leaned back into me only a little. Enough to matter. "You still see them?" she asked. "Your wife and your daughter." "Every day," I said. "Marin was... I searched for it. She was gentle, kind, everything I wasn't. Willa was 4 when she... The words died there. Wouldn't go any further. Aisha turned and looked up at me. You think I'm standing in their place? No, I said right away. You're nothing like Marin. I paused. You're a wildfire. Marin was a candle, she said softly. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Your wife was lucky, Isha said. To be loved even after she's gone. Then her jaw set hard. And the man I refused, he wasn't a man, he was a cage. That's when it hit me. We were both running. Me from ghosts, her from chains. 2 people trying to outrun the past inside a cabin barely big enough for one. I should take you to Santa Fe, I said. Somewhere with people, law, protection. You want me gone? She asked, straight as ever. No. The answer escaped before I could dress it up. But I don't know what I'm offering you. I'm not whole anymore. She laid her hand flat on my chest, right over the scar Antietam left me. Nobody is, she said. Whole people are dull. Then she kissed me. No hesitation. No asking. She kissed me like the decision had already been made and I was late catching up. Sage and smoke on her lips. Her hands pulled me close, urgent, certain, and I let go. Of Marin's shadow. Of the guilt I'd been carrying like a sentence. Just for that moment, I allowed myself to want again. We took it slow. Learned each other the way you learn terrain, careful, attentive. Her strength met mine without flinching, sure and unafraid under my hands. She wasn't delicate. Not something that needed careful handling. Aisha met me straight on no giving ground. She gave as much as she took. When it was done, we lay still. Her head rested on my chest. Outside, the storm tore at the canyon. Inside, we held the warmth. They'll come for me, she said into the darkness. I know, they might kill you. Yeah. You afraid I took a breath? Terrified. She laughed softly, low and quiet. Good, she said. A man with no fear is a man with no sense. They came a week later. Dawn when the world was still washed in gray. I was down by the horses when I heard the many hooves. 12 riders at least, maybe more. Canyon riders. Faces painted for blood. They were led by an elder I recognized. Gray hair, eyes like stone worn smooth by years. Beside him rode a younger man, rage burning plain on his face. Ash Crow, the one she had refused. Aisha stepped out of the cabin and took her place at my side. She didn't shrink back, didn't hide. She stood tall, chin lifted, meeting their stares head on. Gray Elk spoke first fast and sharp in Apache, the words cut like flint. Aisha answered him without hesitation, her voice steady, unshaken. Then she turned slightly toward me. He says I shamed my family, she said in English. He says I belong to Ash Crow. She nodded toward the young man. By their law, he can take me back. What did you tell him, I asked. I told him I chose you. By my law, that's the end of it. Ash Crow spurred his horse forward, shouting. I stepped in front of Aisha, my hand resting on my colt. I didn't draw, didn't need to. He saw it anyway. You think you can keep her, white man? He snarled in broken English. You think your bullets outrun our arrows? No, I said. But I know even if you kill me, she'll never be yours. You'll have a wife who despises you, a woman who'd rather die than let you touch her. Is that what you want? Gray Elk raised his hand. Everything stopped. He studied me for a long moment, then turned his gaze to Isha. He spoke again, slower this time, softer. She answered with a single word. Firm. Gray Elk nodded. Then he reached to his belt, pulled free a bracelet threaded with feathers, and dropped it into the dust between us. She is free, he said in English. Then he pointed at me. You keep her safe. You fail, then we return. We take what is ours. She's not something to be owned, I said. Gray Elk inclined his head. No, he agreed. But she is Apache. Apache, don't forget, Gray Elk said. Then they turned their horses and rode out. All of them except Ash Crow. He sat there a moment longer staring at Aisha with a hatred so bare I thought he might break ranks and charge. His jaw worked. Dirt sprayed as he finally spun his horse and followed the others. Aisha walked forward and picked up the feathered bracelet. She turned it in her palm. "This means they recognize my choice," she said. "But Ash Crow won't let it die." She lifted her chin. "Let him come." I nodded. She studied my face. "You'd die for me. I'd try not to," I said. Then honest as it gets, but yes, if it comes to that. Why I looked at her, this fierce, unyielding woman who'd crashed into my life and broken it open. "Because you pulled me out of the river too," I said. "Just took longer." 3 months passed. We were planting a garden. Beans, corn, plain work. After all that blood and fire, it sounds dull, but that's the truth of the West. It's not all gun smoke and legend. Mostly it's labor. Staying alive, putting roots in hard ground and hoping winter doesn't take it all. Isha's belly had begun to show. We learned 2 weeks earlier. My child. The thought scared me half to death and filled me up at the same time. Sometimes Willa's face drifted through my mind, but it didn't cut like it used to. It felt warm now, like memory instead of pain. I think Marin would have liked Aisha, respected her grit, her spine. We still spotted riders on the ridge now and then, watching. Sometimes it could be Ash Crow, sometimes someone else. Isha always lifted her hand and waved like she owned the land. "Let them see I'm not hiding," she said. I asked her once if she regretted it, choosing me, leaving her people behind. "I didn't leave my people," she said. "I left the ones who wanted to decide my life for me. That's not the same. Too damn smart. We're building something here. Not clean, not safe, but ours. We chose it. And in a country where the earth itself seems eager to kill you, choice is about as close to freedom as a person gets. That's my story. Or part of it, the part I can tell without whiskey loosening my tongue too much. You asked me once if I thought I did the right thing. Pulling her from that river. Standing my ground for her. Truth is, I don't know. Maybe I saved her. Maybe she saved me. Maybe we're just two stubborn fools making it up as we go. What I do know is this love out here isn't gentle. It's not flowers and verse. It's choosing the same person every day, especially when it hurts. Standing shoulder to shoulder against whatever rides in next. Isha's inside now, singing to our child. An Apache lullaby her mother taught her. I'm out here on the porch, watching the canyon, waiting. The sun sinks slow beyond the canyon rim, bleeding red into stone. My rifle rests across my knees. My eyes stay on the ridge, always watching, always ready. That's the cost of choosing your own trail. You don't get to lay down your guard. Was I right? Was I wrong? Hell, friend, you tell me. All I know is I'm not drowning anymore. Neither is she. The canyon keeps its silence, the kind that listens back. The wind carries smoke and dust and the promise of trouble someday. I stay here anyway. I keep watch. I keep what I chose. That's how it works out west. You don't ask for mercy. You stand your ground. And when night comes, you're ready. Finally, let me send my deep thanks to you. Thank you for listening, and for allowing this story to speak to your heart. The Wild West still holds countless truths, some painful, some tender, all worth remembering. Stay with us, subscribe, comment, and invite others to discover these untamed stories, from our hearts to yours. Thank you for being part of this journey. Aviso Legal Barra Disclaimer. Each story shared here is produced for storytelling enjoyment. Certain scenes may include fictional or dramatized elements inspired by historical circumstances. Although AI tools assist us in visuals narration and script development, the emotional tone editing and quality control are conducted by people to ensure meaningful experiences. we fully uphold YouTube's policies using no deceptive recreations or impersonations of real individuals. All creative resources are properly licensed. Unauthorized copying, re-uploading, or remixing is not permitted. Thank you for supporting the effort behind every episode we create.